Hey guys, Lucas. I'm going to talk to you today about my top 5 games of the year. For me, number 5 was going to be Overwatch. It reminded me a lot of like Team Fortress 2, which I played a shit ton of. I loved the characters. I thought the overall for a shooter of that style, it did it really well, especially that balancing of the characters and their play styles. I love the maps. The maps were small enough but big enough for you to kind of have hiding spots and to really get those spots down, and they were memorable. I really enjoyed a lot of the characters. They fleshed them out really well. I think they're still working on some stuff, but I definitely think that with time and more patches they're probably going to do, I'm assuming, because it's Blizzard. Moving on to number 4, Doom. The game, that's how you do a reboot. We've talked about this in the past, but Doom, for as long as it's been since they come out with 3, this is how you reboot a game. You make it just like the old ones, you give the same characters, but you make them look fantastic. It, like Aaron said, you feel like you're on skates.
It feels like you're on skates the whole time, and
that's how the old ones felt. You felt like you were moving so fast. The gunplay is amazing. Blowing stuff up is just beautiful. Getting into where you can just come to a character and just ripping his face off, like, it's so gory, but it's so Doom. Like, that game, and the story is, he doesn't really have to have a story, but it does have a tiny one. Like at the beginning of the game where you just like start out like, hey, we want you to go do this thing. He's like, he breaks the monitor. It's like, yep, that's Doom. Like, that's just how that game is, and it's wonderful. My number 3 pick is XCOM 2, which I'm sure none of the guys are gonna pick because they're not really into RTSs, but I love them. XCOM 2 does the sequel very well. Like, it gives you the same kind of gameplay, but slightly different and a new take on things. It gives you the ability to customize even more so than the previous one, which is always a fan of on my side. The animations in that game are really well done, and I love the way they tied in the story with how you're playing out the maps. Number 2 is Battlefield 1. That game looks amazing. It feels so realistic when you're shooting that gun, and you have to, like, I've loved the old Battlefields where you have to actually know what the hell you're doing with the gun, where you, as Call of Duty, you're just like point and click, and you're all different colors and all that bullshit. But Battlefield 1, it makes you feel like you're in a war zone, and that's what I love about shooting games, like the first-person shooters, is that you get to be inside that game, in that world, and feel like you're part of that world. When you're walking in the sand and you have footprints behind you, like it's such a small detail, but it's that detail right there that pulls me into that game. The story, I heard people loved it. I thought it was good, but overall it was really short. I loved the little missions that you kind of do with different characters, but there's only a couple of them I really liked. I liked being on top of the blimp and then, you know, bringing that down. Like, stuff like that was great, but overall the story was just okay. The characters were some of them were good, some of them were a little less flushed out. I thought it was so short, I thought you couldn't really get to like them. The Australian snipers were probably my favorite. Getting to run around and actually like feel like you were part of the story, like actually being able to like progress, because if you didn't, like, shit was gonna happen. But overall, yeah, it was really short. The online play is once again superb. I love usually doing death matches or conquest. Those maps are so big that you can just like be on one side and like never see anybody. But then when you get into the shit, like, you're getting into the shit. Some of my honorable mentions: Quantum Break. I definitely think you should check this game out. However, I do feel like the concept was amazing. Having like live action to CGI games like that was awesome. But I just felt like it felt really short. And I had a lot of issues with it when I first got it, with being really jittery and like cutting out once in a while. Like, it was very glitchy. But the game concept, I loved it. Just didn't hit home as hard as I thought they should have. Number 1 is gonna be Final Fantasy 15. The wait is over. It is time to get back into the world. Spin that gill. The game is amazing. It looks so good. The characters, as I will say, the names were a little, I didn't really care for, but you fall in love with those characters so quickly. Like, even in the first hour of that gameplay, you're like, these are my guys. They've got my back. let's go on this fucking road trip. It brought me back to playing 500 hours of Final Fantasy VIII. Like, it has that feel of the world of Final Fantasy. Like, you just want to be in that world, and the maps are huge. And then when you get to ride a chocobo, oh my god, like that is one thing. Like, if they ever create genetic weird space things, I'm gonna ride. I want a chocobo. I want to ride one. I want to own it. I want to breed them. I want to run people over in them. I want to have chocobo fights. I want that to be a thing. The battling system, completely different than previous games. It's actually what it looks like what they showed us with Final Fantasy 13 was going to be, but they decided not to. But I love the way you actually it's real time. You can run out of battle if you want to. If you're getting your ass kicked, you just run out. And when you have the chocobo, you can actually have, when you're like dying, they run in, swoop up, pick you up, and get the hell out of there. Like, that's awesome. I love the way that you can interact with the other characters, where you can do system links or direct links, whatever it's called, where you're fighting them and like they just grab you and like throw you on top of them and just get to murder things. And the creatures, the demons, their actual size, like it feels like when you run into something that's huge, like, oh, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Like, there are some parts in that game where you look like you're gonna get overpowered, and you're probably going to get overpowered. Overall, pick it up, get it on PlayStation. Come on, it's the way to do it. You know it's true. Why they haven't made it on Xbox, I don't know. Just pick it up on PlayStation 4. Do it. End of story. That's my top 5. If you agree with me, let me know. If you thought I was a dumbass, tell me I'm a dumbass. We've got more videos over here, so if you want to watch other people be idiots, watch those. Hit the like button if you liked it. If you subscribe, you're gonna get more content from us. But yeah, that's mine. And hey, thanks guys for sticking around for almost a year now. That's awesome, and hopefully see you in 2017. Take care. Just PlayStation, do it. Matter. Done.